So, good day everyone. In today's lecture, pag-aaralan naman natin ngayon kung paano mag-solve ng DE, in particular, higher order ordinary differential equation, no? So, matatandaan ninyo yung mga previous discussion natin about solving DE is concerned lamang sa mga first order ordinary DE. So, ngayon, dadako naman tayo sa mga higher order na, no? So, hindi lang tayo basta-basta mag-solve dito ng first order, mag-solve na rin tayo ng mga second order, third order, fourth order, no? Or so on and so forth na mga ordinary differential equations. So, in this lesson, tuturo ko sa inyo kung paano mag-solve ng mga ganitong klase ng differential equations, okay? So, but before that, let's us just have some preliminaries or recall about some concept about linear DE, no? So, first of all, if we are given as a linear nth order differential equation of this form, tinatawag natin yan again na homogeneous because yung right hand side ng equation ay 0. And as you can see, makikita nyo sa title, ang concern natin sa pag-solve ngayon ay mga homogeneous linear equations with constant coefficients. So again, wag na kayong malilito or magtataka or maninibago sa terminologies na ito, constant coefficients, because they are straightforward. Ibig sabihin, yung mga coefficients ng mga derivatives natin should be constant. So, ibig sabihin, itong mga a sub n minus 1, up to this function, dapat mga constant daw sila. So, wala muna tayong pakialam sa mga functions na hindi constant. For example, merong x dyan, x squared, sine of x, no? Or 1 over x. Wala tayong pakialam sa mga ganung combinations ng DE. Ang gusto lang muna natin, mga constant ito. So that if the right hand side ay 0, tinatawag natin yung linear nth order differential equation to be homogeneous. Otherwise, if this is not 0 or a function in terms of x that is not 0, tinatawag na natin yun na non-homogeneous. So, meron tayong dalawang klase ng linear nth order differential equation, isang homogeneous at isang non-homogeneous. So, in that case, meron tayong dalawang method on solving these two specific cases of nth order linear differential equation. Okay? Now, if we are given of these solutions, no, y sub 1, y sub 2, up to y sub k, to be the solutions of the homogeneous nth order differential equation. Again, wag na ninibago. Yung homogeneous na tinutukoy is this DE, yung may 0 sa right hand side. If we have or if we find out that y sub 1 up to y sub k are solutions of that given homogeneous nth order differential equation, then the linear combination, which is given as follows, is also a solution on the interval. Ibig sabihin, etong linear combination na tawag na ito, bakit linear combination tawag, sir? Because these solutions can be combined linearly. Ibig sabihin, we can factor or we can multiply constant on each solutions while adding all of those, no? We're adding all of these solutions. So, itong constant na ito ay any constants. Ibig sabihin, kahit anong value ilagay mo dyan, basta real number. So, ang galing, no? Once we found a particular solution, mga particular solutions kasi ito eh. Once we find a particular solution, we can find these linear combinations of solutions. And these are infinitely many. Marami ito because C sub 1 up to C sub k ay mga arbitrary constant. So, mararami yan. So, how can we show this? We can show this by just finding. Meron bang ano dito? Ay, wala tayong extra page. Paano ba? Dito na lang siguro. So, since this is theorem, we need to prove, no? But the proof is that since y sub 1 up to y sub k are solutions of homogeneous DE, ganyan na lang, HDE, then, yung a sub n, ito yung forma nung ano, 'di ba? a sub n of x, y1 to the n power plus so on and so forth hanggang dumating ka sa punto na meron kang y1 prime plus a sub 0 of x, y sub 1 should be equal 0. Kasi solution daw itong y sub 1 eh. So, kapag isinubstitute ko siya doon sa ating DE, mag-i-equate yun sa 0. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng pagiging solution as we have discussed in the first lecture natin. We define solution. And also, this works for every value of for every index k, no, starting from 1 up to k. So ibig sabihin, just imagine na sinulat ko na rin yung y sub 2 na part. So idudulo ko na, doon na ako magsusulat sa last, which is si k. So ito rin daw ay mag-hold once I substitute y sub k to the homogeneous DE, mag-equate din siya kay 0. Yun lang ibig sabihin nung y sub 1 up to y sub k to be a solution. Okay. So, sulat ko lang. So, all of those is equal 0. So, pwede nyo rin ilagay yung y sub 2 dyan, no? But, syempre, marami kasi yan eh. Hindi natin alam. Marami pero finite. Pero, hindi ko na isusulat isa-isa. Thus, gusto natin mapakita na itong y ay solution din. So, if this is a solution, dapat yung y natin if y is solution, dapat yung a sub n of x times y raised to n, kasi kailangan natin i-substitute yung mga y and kanyang mga derivatives to the equation so that we can equate it to 0. Yun yung sabi ng definition ng solution. So, dapat itong mga ito i-dot-dot ko na. Ayoko na isulat yung susunod dyan. Dot plus a sub 1 of x y prime plus a sub 0 of x y should equal 0. So, yun yung kailangan natin mapakita. But, as you can see, y is equal to this. So, if y is equal to that, we can compute y prime to be c sub 1, y1 prime of x, di ba? You can just distribute the operator, the differentiation operator in addition, no? Property yun ng differentiation operator. Property ni ddx, yun yung sinasabi ko na differentiation operator. Si ddx. Sorry, sulat ko lang na maayos. No? And we can somehow compute up to yn or the nth order derivative and derivative of y. Just c sub 1 y 1 of n x. Di ko na isulat yung c sub 2. Dito na lang ako sa agad sa c sub. But c sub ano? C sub k to. C sub k y to the n. Yeah. So, may mga value tayo for y prime up to yn. So, isa-substitute natin yun dun. So, this is equal to, yun natin kasi medyo mahaba-haba. Nalagay ko dito yung equal a sub n. Copyin lang natin to. Tapos si y sub n. Sino si y sub n? Siya po ay si c sub 1 y1 to n plus so on and so forth plus c sub k y sub k to the n of x. Ang haba nito, no? Pero sige, siguro hindi ko na isusulat yung a sa, sige na, sulat ko na nga yun. O plus ayan, sorry, yung a sub 1 of x Then again, copy natin sino si y prime. Si y prime is this. So, siya si c sub 1, y prime of x plus c sub 2, c sub k, y prime k of x. Ang haba. Meron pa yan. Yung last. Plus the a sub 0. Which is times y. Sino naman si y? Si y is this. Si c sub 1 y1 prime of k. Ay, wala nang prime. So, c sub 1 y1 of x plus so on and so forth plus ck yk of x. So, ayan. Tulitan ko lang ito. Actually, liitan ko na lang to. Resize natin. So, ito. Sud natin. Tapos equal natin. Dito to. Kasha ba? Yun. Kasha. Then as you can see, as algebraic manipulation lang ito. May kita ninyo na this will be equal to. Dito ko na ilagay pero dito yun kasunod. Dito ko lang ilagay kasi mahaba kasi. So we can somehow distribute this, no? Mga yan. So that ang matitira ay ang mangyayari is that meron tayong an of x lagay na natin to C1. Lahat sila may mga C1, 'di ba? Tapos lahat sila may mga CK. So factor out natin yung mga C1 constant na 'yan. So meron tayong C1 times yung anx y1 to n of x, no? Tapos kunin natin dito yung hanggang a1 to y prime, tas ito. So, ibig sabihin lang, pwede ko magawa itong factor na ito. A dot na natin. Dot plus a1 of x y1 prime of x plus a sub 0 of x y, no, of x. Yan yung isa. Saan galing yan? Dito yan galing. Ito yung ito yung may mga C1 sila lahat. So, finactor out ko yon. Tapos, yung an, dinistribute ko sa mga y1. Kaya meron tayong ganito. Distribute ko yan sa mga y1. Okay? So, just imagine, we do this in every index. Nag-start tayo kay 1, no? So that, doon na tayo kay k. So, ck na. So, again, meron tayong anx yk to the n of x. Saan galing yan? Dito yan, no? Ayan, no? Lahat sila may mga ck naman. Okay. Plus dot plus a1 of x yk prime plus a sub 0 of x y, sorry, bakit walang 1 dyan? y1 yk of x. So, itong mga sum na ito ay equal lang dito sa sum na yan. And by assumption, 0 yung mga yan, eh. So, we just have c sub 1 times 0 plus so on and so forth up to c sub k times 0. And we know na 0 lang yun. Therefore, napakita natin na itong expression na ito ay equal sa 0. Therefore, y is a solution. So, ganun pinakita, ganun yung proof na itong theorem na ito. so that the linear combination is also, or in fact, a solution then if we are getting particular solutions of this nth order differential equation. Yung mga linear combination niya ay mga solution din. Okay? Nice yun because nakita natin on how to generalize how to generalize the solution of DE, homogeneous DE, no? And on this part, no, i-discuss pa natin further kung ano talaga yung general solution of this given DE. Now, let's talk about independence. So, sa other subject or sa linear algebra, pinag-aaralan ito, no? Pero, let's just give a intuition about independence. So, basahin natin yung definition. So, a set of functions f sub 1, f sub 2, up to f sub n is said to be linearly dependent on an interval I if may mag-exist na constant c sub 1 up to c sub n, not all 0. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng 0 si c sub 1, c sub 2, pero dapat hindi sila lahat 0. Such that if we take the linear combinations of these functions, dapat maging 0 daw. Again, kapag nangyari yon, tinatawag natin itong mga functions na ito to be linearly dependent. Linearly dependent sila sa isa't isa. Because we can rewrite those functions, f sub 1 to, in terms of the other by just multiplying a constant and adding them, no, together. So in the negation of that is that if this will not work, no, hindi mangyayari for any constant, then tinatawag na natin yun as linearly independent. So in particular, sabi dito, if the set of function is not linearly dependent, then it is linearly independent. So let's have an example on this one so that maintindihan nyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng mga ito. So let's say we are given following functions. So sulat ko lang. Let f sub 1 to be the constant function 5, f sub 2 of x to be sine squared of x, then f sub 3 of x to be cosine squared of x. Then, this set, f sub 1, f sub 2, f sub 3, is linearly dependent. Bakit dependent, sir? Because we can say that their linear combination can be 0, no? If we try to find a constant. Ano ibig sabihin nung sinabi ko, sir? Mathematically, ganito siya, no? If we try to find a constant, c sub 1, and we multiply it by f of 1, f sub 1, tapos inad natin sa other function pa, this one, and this one, we will end up to have a 0. We will get 0. So, ang tanong, ano yung mga constant na yan, no, to get that 0? So, let's just rewrite this. Meron kang c sub 1 times 5, so merong 5c sub 1. Tapos, c sub 2 sine squared x plus c sub 3 cosine squared of x. So, in this one, we just need to find a constant, no? So that magiging 0 to. So, kahit anong gawin natin, pwede natin gawin, no? Basta maging 0, no? So, for example, kasi meron akong alam about sine squared tsaka cosine squared. Kapag kinumbine ko yan, magiging 1 yan, 'di ba? So, paano ko yan mako-combine? So, mako-combine ko yan if we say c sub 2 and c sub 3 are equal, no? So, let's say they are another constant, c. So that ma-factor out ko sila. Kapag equal sila, we can factor out, 'di ba? So, where c is just the c sub 2 and c sub 3. So that, mangyayari, meron tayong 5c sub 1 plus c na lang because sine squared plus cosine squared of x is just 1. So, this is just equal 0. And basic na lang ito. Madali ka na lang maglalagay dyan ng mga constant natin. So, let's say, gawin mo itong negative 1. Edi ito, magiging positive 5 lang. Diba? So, that's 0 yan. So, if we set C sub 1 to be negative 1, C to be 5, which is C to be 5, which is just the value of C sub 2 and C sub 3. Then, we get this na. So, copy ko lang to. Then, indeed, this is 0. And therefore, these functions f sub 1, f sub 2, and f sub 3 that is given as follows is linearly dependent. Now, ano po yung example ng mga linearly independent? So, magbigay din tayo ng example ng linearly dependent. So, example naman ng linearly dependent is that if we have f1 of x to be given as x, f2 of x to be x plus 1, tapos f of 3 of x to be x squared, then this set f1, f2, and f3 is linearly independent. So, linearly independent naman yan. Because we cannot find constant C sub 1, C sub 2, C sub 3 to make this combination 0. Hindi ka makakahanap ng constant dyan to make it 0. Kasi just imagine, sa x squared pa lang, can you rewrite x squared in terms of x tsaka x plus 1? No? So, let's say meron tayong C sub 1 tapos C sub 2. Can we find constant to get x squared? Hindi, di ba? Doon pa lang, it is a clue, no, to say that this x squared is not dependent on x and x plus 1. Kaya linearly independent sila. Likewise, si x plus 1 din. Si x plus 1 is linearly independent in these two because hindi nakadepende or hindi natin makikreate si x plus 1 by just combining x and x squared, no? Ganun yung technique natin for saying that the sequence, the set of functions f1, f2, and f3 is linearly independent. Now, for the case of this, pwede kasi natin makuha yung 5 by combining this because we know sine squared and cosine squared can create a constant. And this is a constant. So, we can somehow create a constant by just combining these two. And doon pa lang malalaman natin na si 5 ay dependent sa mga function na ito because we can rewrite 5 in terms of sine squared and cosine squared, unlike this one. So, ganun, maghanap or ganun, alamin kung linearly independent or dependent yung mga functions natin. Okay? So, the essence of linear independence is this. If we have a set of solutions such that they are linearly independent, then we call the solutions na ito to be the fundamental set of solutions of the given homogeneous and ordered differential equation. Again, yung homogeneous, yun yung right-hand side niya ay 0. Okay? So, anong purpose ni fundamental set of solution? Napansin ninyo, up to y sub n na tayo dito. Kanina, hanggang y sub k. So, itong k na to can be greater than n, or can be less than n, or can be n. No? Pwede ganun yung maging relationship ni k tsaka n. So, ano yung kwento ng linearly independence? So, ang goal kasi ni linear independence is that, for instance, makakuha tayo ng mga particular solutions y sub 1, y sub 2 up to y sub n. Tapos meron pa tayo nakita pang particular solutions, y sub n plus 1 up to some point y sub k. Malalaman natin na kapag nakuha mo yung mga particular solutions na ganyang karami, malalaman mo na linearly dependent yan. No? Linearly dependent yan. And ang goal natin to make linearly independent is magtanggal ng mga ibang particular solution because linear dependent exists in this set. Ibig sabihin, for instance, y sub n plus 1 can be rewrite in terms of y sub n and other functions, no? Yun yung definition natin ng linear dependence, 'di ba? Nakadepende yung value ng function na ito sa other function so that we can rewrite this y sub n plus 1 into other functions. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng linear dependence. Now, to avoid that or to get a linear independent solutions, kailangan natin magtanggal so that we can create a set containing y sub 1 up to y sub n na lang. So that we know that this is linearly independent. Bakit sir hanggang y sub n lang? Because maaalala ninyo doon sa previous discussion natin about elimination of arbitrary constant, kapag meron kang n number or n parameter family of solution, ibig sabihin ng n parameter family of solution, meron kang c sub 1 up to c sub n. 'Di ba we expect to differentiate n times? Ibig sabihin ang order na makuha nating DE is nth order differential equation. So, nagtutugma yung bilang ng parameters tsaka yung order ng DE natin. So, likewise this one, no? Because we have an nth order ordinary linear DE or homogeneous span, no? We expect to have n parameter family of solution. And this is stated in this theorem. So that it states the general solution of the homogeneous equation. So, kanina, nalaman natin yung y sub k kanina. Kapag ito ay mga particular solutions, yung linear combination nila na y is also particular solution. Or is also a solution. Not particular, is also a solution. Now, if magkataon na itong set na ito ay mga linearly independent na, we expect that hanggang y sub n lang yon. Ibig sabihin, n lang yung bilang nila. Hanggang n lang sila to make it linearly independent. So that fundamental set of solution na siya. And if that set is fundamental set of solutions of the homogeneous nth order differential equation, then this linear combination is now called the general solution of the given DE. Matatandaan ninyo kapag ang DE natin ay linear, ang method of solution natin ay makakalikha ng solution kung saan makukuha niya na lahat ng solution or we can obtain the solution from the parameter or the family of solution, no? So that it is called now as the general solution. So, tatandaan nyo yun, kapag linear DE, automatic, yung solution na makukuha mo ay general solution na. So, lahat ng klase ng function ay obtainable na with that family. And the formula or the solution that is said to be the general solution is written in this form. Linear combination lang siya nung mga particular solution, y sub 1 up to y sub n. So, mapapansin nyo rin, meron tayong c sub 1, c sub 2, up to c sub n. So, this is n parameter family of solution because meron tayong n number of parameters. Okay? So, that's the idea or that's the meaning of solution of homogeneous linear equations with constant coefficients, no? Or initially, yung general solution ng linear DE. So, ganito yung forma nila. Okay? So, let's try to know na kung paano na isolve yung mga ganitong klase ng DE. So, kasi na-discuss na natin yung mga terminologies about homogeneous linear equations. Tapos, yung solution niya, no? Now, what's the method of this DE? So, let's try, rewrite ko lang, sulat ko lang, method of solution. So, to know on how to solve this kind of DE, let's just observe some special function. Special talaga, no? Because siya yung nag-create ng paano ba? Kaya siya special because sinosolve niya yung mga homogeneous linear equation na may constant coefficient. Special type kasi ng DE ito eh. Special case lang. Hindi natin pa kayang mag-solve ng mga general type of DE na higher order, no. Hanggang ano lang tayo for the case wherein yung coefficient ay constant. Tapos kung saan homogeneous or zero yung right hand side ng linear DE or non-homogeneous kung saan meron tayong function na hindi zero, function in terms of x na hindi zero. Yun lang yung mga kaya natin i-solve for now. So, the method of solution came from observing a special function na ito. So, observe that y is equal to e raised to mx, which is, by the way, if we take the derivative of this, we can get we can get m e raised to mx, no? So, observe that these two functions, y and its derivative, observe that these two functions, when substituted to this DE, to homogeneous linear equations, to this HDE, AY prime plus BY equals 0, we get what? Ano yung y prime natin? ME raised to mx plus B, what is y? E raised to mx equal 0. Or in other words, we can factor out E raised to mx. So to get AM plus B equal 0. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung product nila ay 0. So, either sa kanila ay 0. Either isa sa kanila ay 0. Diba yun yung logic behind product of two numbers? Kapag si A times B ay 0, magpa-follow na isa sa kanila ay 0. A equals 0 or B equals 0. But, this E raised to mx will never be 0. Diba? So, this implies that AM is forced to be 0. So, anong napala natin from that? So, to get the solution, so, pangalanan lang natin to na star. So, to get the solution of homogeneous DE star, we just need to find M so that this equation is satisfied. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? So, sulat ko lang. To get the solution of this HDE, we need to find M from equation from AM plus B equals 0. So, ano ang tawag dyan kay M kapag mayroon tayong ganitong equation? Because this one is called polynomial. Polynomial of degree 1, no? Kung gagawin mong x yan para mas ma-familiar kayo, di ba? Ito ay polynomial of degree 1. 1. So, since nagdi-deal tayo sa polynomial, m here is the root. So, if we find the root of this equation, we can find m, so that if we substitute it to this value of special function, y equals e raised to mx, that is the solution for this given DE, HDE star, no? So, nice, no? From this given DE, we transform it into some kind of polynomial equation to merely simply solve the roots of it. And once we know the roots of it, we can now get the particular solution, y equals e raised to mx. Okay? So, lagay ko na lang to dito sa baba para pwede akong maglagay ng another liitan ko lang ito para pwede akong mag-line dito. Kaya no, diba? So, nalaman natin na kapag meron tayong, tinan nyo to, magkamukha rin. Kapag meron tayong linear DE, meron tayong corresponding equation AM plus B. No? Parang yung y prime, pinalitan ko lang nung m, no? Tapos nawala lang yung y. No? So, parang nagkaroon ng corresponding equation to get the solution. In general, ganito kasi yung mangyayari dyan. So, let's have muna an example. So, example. Let's say we are to solve y prime plus 5y equals 0. So, in this case, di ba mga constant coefficients lang yan? Yung mga kasama ng mga derivative at ng dependent variable y. So, ganyan muna yung una yung titignan. Tapos, tingnan nyo kung yung right hand side ay 0. So, this is homogeneous DE. So that we can get its corresponding equation. Tinatawag natin yun as auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation. Which can be given as 2m plus 5 equals 0. So, computing m in this one, we can get m equals negative 5 over 2. Diba? So, therefore, we get the m. Therefore, y equals e raised to what? M, which is negative 5 over 2. X is a particular solution of the given HDE. Kanina nalaman natin kung paano hanapin yung general solution, 'di ba? So, if we have a particular solution, we're just getting the linear combinations to get the general solution. But in this case, meron lang naman tayong first order DE, so we expect one parameter family of solution. So, the general solution can be get as y equals c sub 1 e raised to minus 5 halves of x. So, wala nang iba kasi one parameter family of solution lang naman yung first order DE natin. Diba? Naalala nyo ba yun? Is the general solution of HDE. No? So, in general, this auxiliary equation can be extended in higher order, no? So, ito first order lang eh. So, we can extend that idea into higher order because in general, if we have HDE, homogeneous linear equations with constant coefficients, if we have HDE, which is given as a sub n of x, y to the n,
plus so on and so forth plus a sub 1 of x y prime plus a sub 0 of x y equal 0. Tandaan natin tong equal 0 kasi homogeneous tayo. Then, yung auxiliary equation or corresponding equation ng HDE na ito, let's call AE, is given by AN m raised to n plus so on and so forth to a sub 1 m plus a sub 0 equals 0. And this is polynomial of degree n.
So, as a remark, if we have nth order DE, linear DE, we expect an auxiliary equation to have a polynomial of degree n. Okay? So, paano sir yung solution? Anong gagawin natin sir sa auxiliary equation? Anong mangyayari kapag na-solve natin iyan? Anong mangyayari sa solution? Yun yung mga possible question na pwede nyo nang magawa or maisip. But let's just focus on mga simple lang muna. Step by step lang muna tayo. So, this is any n no? So, let's try to think step by step. Okay? So, let's have first a particular case wherein the auxiliary equation is quadratic. Kasi kanina linear, ngayon quadratic. Mahalaga yung quadratic, no? Mamaya i-discuss ko sa inyo kung bakit. So, for instance, this HDE AY double prime plus BY prime plus CY equals 0 has auxiliary equation AM squared plus BM plus C equals 0. And we can calculate its roots. The roots of equation, pangalanan natin itong equation 1. Of equation 1 can be obtained by using quadratic formula. That is, so this is 2-degree polynomial. Meron tayong dalawang expected roots. This m1 is equal to b minus b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a tsaka cm2 equals to minus b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we can compute the polynomial of degree 2 using quadratic formula. So ang essence kasi nito is that we observe the roots. So in this case, we observe that M1 and M2 will fall into 3 cases. Ano yung 3 cases na yun? So, yung case 1, M1 and M2 are distinct. So, M1 is not equal to M2. So, meaning, yung discriminant natin, yung b squared minus 4ac, is positive. So, for case 2, M1 is equal to M2. So, ibig sabihin, repeated roots, M1 is equal to M2.
Ibig sabihin na to, yung discriminant natin is equal 0. And lastly, we have conjugate. So, ibig sabihin complex number. M1 and M2 ay complex numbers. And in particular, they are conjugate. Ibig sabihin, si M1 ay equals to A plus BI and M2 is equal to A minus BI. Yun yung ibig sabihin natin ng conjugate, di ba? Okay? So, let's start with first case. Kasi tatlo yung case natin. So, let's observe nung mangyayari sa solution kapag case 1, case 2, case 3. So, let's start with case 1. Which is called as distinct roots. Distinct real roots. So, kapag meron tayong distinct real roots, so, pangalanan natin ito, yung DE natin, yung HDE natin na heart. So, pangalanan natin na heart. If we have distinct real roots, then the solution of HDE heart is, yung solution na tinutukoy ko is general solution ha. Hindi ko lang nasusulat, pero general solution na yon is given as y equals C sub 1 e raised to m1 x plus C sub 2 e raised to m2 x, where m1 and m2 are roots of the auxiliary equation such that m1 is not equal to m2. So, tandaan itong formula na ito kapag mayroon tayong distinct real roots. Okay? Example. Sample tayo. Solve. Ano pwede natin i-solve? Y double prime plus 6y prime plus 8 equals 0. So, the auxiliary equation can be obtained as m squared plus 6m. Sorry, bakit 8 lang yan? Equals 0. So, auxiliary plus 8 equals 0. So, this implies that this one can be factored as m plus 4 times n plus 2. So, wait lang. Medyo nagloloko na yung pen ko. Meaning, the roots can be obtained as m sub 1 equals to minus 4 and m sub 2 as minus 2. And therefore, the general solution of the given DE is y equals C sub 1 e raised to what is the first root, negative 4x, plus C sub 2 e raised to minus 2x. So, ganyan lang kadali, no? Kung paano hanapin yung solution for the higher order DE, no? Parang mas madali pa siya kumpara sa pagsosolve natin ng mga first order, no? Well, kaya siya madali because simple lang kasi itong DE na to, with constant coefficient lang siya. So, yung nakaraan, 'di ba, hindi lang naman basta-basta constant yung mga coefficients natin. Meron pa nga tayo yung tinatawag na with homogeneous coefficients, 'di ba? So, kaya madali lang yung solution kasi madali lang din yung yung DE.
Now, what about for case 2? So, for case 2 naman, meron tayong ano to? Repeated real roots. Tatawag ito na repeated real roots. So, sa repeated real roots naman, the general solution of HDE heart is given by y equals, kasi repeated real roots, isa na lang yung roots natin. So, meron lang tayong e raised to mx, which is m is the root. Tapos, paano magkakaroon ng dalawang parameter? Kasi we expect 2 parameters kapag meron tayong second order DE, di ba? So, ang mangyayari, kapag meron tayong repeated real roots, meron tayong forma na c sub 1 plus c sub 2 times x. So, magkakaroon siya ng times x sa susunod. So, in general, lagyan natin ng patalastas in general. In general, if the nth order HDE, wait lang, magkita nga lang natin, ayusin ko nga. If the homogeneous linear nth order linear nth order DE has auxiliary equation with roots, sorry, nagloloko talaga yung pen ko, wait lang, with roots of multiplicity k. Ano ibig sabihin ng multiplicity k? With multiplicity n, no? With multiplicity n. Sorry, wait lang, ba't nabura? With multiplicity n, ibig sabihin na repeat yung roots n times. So, in general, if the homogeneous linear nth order DE has auxiliary equation with roots of multiplicity n, then the general solution is given by y equals e raised to mx times c sub 1 plus c sub 2 x plus c sub 3 x squared plus so on and so forth up until c sub n x raised to n minus 1. So, ganyan naman, makuha yung general solution kapag mayroon tayong multiplicity roots or repeated roots where m is the root of the auxiliary equation repeated n times. Okay? So, sa ngayon, hindi muna natin uusisain kung bakit naging ganito, kung bakit naging ganyan. But for now, let's just stick with this formula. Hindi muna natin uusisain. Ida-derive natin yan once we are in the topic of annihilator. Didiscuss ko yun sa inyo, yung annihilator. Well, in this case, pwede pala natin ito ma-discuss because, again, yung nakuha natin na mga function na ito ay distinct. Ibig sabihin, independent sila. So, meaning, independent, we get the particular solution. For example, y1 equals e raised to m1x, tapos y2 to be equal to e raised to m2x. So, since these two functions are independent, therefore, their linear combination is the general solution. Which is, ito yun, yung linear, Well, in this case naman, because we have repeated real roots, syempre, yung y1 natin is equal to some constant, let's say e raised to mx, then another y2 is e raised to mx again. And this one is dependent to this one kasi pares lang sila. So, hindi mag-work, hindi natin makukuha yung another solution to get, kasi we expect at least two particular solutions. So, ibig sabihin, yung isa lang nalikha natin, we cannot create a general solution because dependent yung set of solutions na nakuha natin. Hindi siya fundamental set of solutions. Kaya, nagkaroon ng buntot na x. And in general, nagkaroon ng buntot na x cubed, at x to the n minus 1. And ida-derive natin yan once we are in the topic of annihilator. Okay? So, but for now, let's just have an example for this case 2. So, example, solve y double prime plus 4y prime plus 4y equals 0. Again, this is an HDE. So, the auxiliary equation is given as m squared plus 4m plus 4 equals 0, which can be rewritten as m plus 2 squared equals 0. Nakita nyo? M is equal to 2. So, m1 is equal to 2. Minus 2 pala. With multiplicity 2. Nagloloko yung pen. M is equal to minus 2 of multiplicity 2. Therefore, our general solution is y equals e raised to the root 2 times x times c sub 1 plus c sub 2 times x. So, ayan yung solution natin for this example. So, basic lang din, no? Okay? Now, paano naman sa case 3 wherein nagkaroon ng complex number? Akala ko ba, sir, kapag nasa DE tayo, pag nag-solve tayo ng DE, real valued functions lang ang concern natin, but may complex na. So, let's just talk about this one. So, for case 3, wherein we have conjugate complex root, ibig sabihin, the auxiliary equation has root m1 equals to, let's say, can be written as alpha plus beta I, and m2, its conjugate, which is alpha minus beta I. So, since this is distinct, magkaiba sila, we can use for the format for case 1. Therefore, thus, following case 1 being m1 and m2 is distinct, we get the general solution of HDE heart to be y equals e
C sub 1 E raised to ano yun? Alpha plus BI X plus C2 E raised to alpha minus BI X.
Hala, but may complex numbers, sir. So, we can rewrite this as C sub 1 E raised to alpha X. Itanggalin lang muna natin si beta.
Times, syempre, this is E raised to beta I X plus C sub 2 E raised to alpha X times E raised to beta I X. Minus beta I X. So, meaning, kung matatandaan nyo yung Euler function or Euler's formula, Euler's formula that is given by E raised to I theta is equal to cosine theta plus I sine theta. So, using that, we get y equals, tanggalin lang natin yung mga na dito, no? Ichipwera. So, meron tayong C sub 1 alpha, C sub 1 E raised to alpha X. Ito, mga real number lang naman ito. Ito yung hindi real. And dito daw siya equal. So, this is just equal to the cosine of beta X plus I sine beta X, no? Plus C sub 2 E raised to alpha X cosine of minus beta X plus I sine minus beta X. So, gamit lang tayo ng mga trigo identity dito. 'Di ba kapag yung cosine even yan, tapos yung sine odd, ibig sabihin kapag meron kang negative sa angle, lalabas tapos mape-preserve kapag lalabas tapos hindi mawawala, man-neutralize kapag cosine. But the we mean by that is this. Yung y natin can be further solved as C sub 1 E times alpha X times cosine of beta X plus I sine beta X plus C sub 2E alpha X. Cosine of negative is just cosine of beta X, tapos minus na to I sine of beta X. Okay? So from here, we can now combine similar factors, no? Meron tong cosine beta X pati ito. At ito, pwede natin combine, no? So to have, we have y equals e raised to alpha x times, meron tayong c sub 1 plus c sub 2 cosine of beta x plus I times c sub 1 minus c sub 2 sine of beta x. Ngayon, dito na mawawala yung I na yan because these constants can be a complex number then, no? Since we are dealing with arbitrary constant, any constant can be a complex number initially, no? So, somehow, we can rewrite this in terms of e raised to alpha x as another constant So, itong C plus 1, C sub 1 plus C sub 2, let's say this is C sub 3. Cosine of beta x. Then, ito, constant lang yan. Ito, constant din yan. So, let's write that as C sub 4 sine beta x. By that, nawala yung imaginary number, no? So, they are expected to be real. Ibig sabihin itong C3 tsaka C4 are real. While C1 tsaka C2 can be complex numbers. But, essentially, we need these two to be real numbers. Kasi real valued functions na tayo, dapat itong C3 tsaka C4 is chosen to be a real number. Okay? So that we get the general solution, no? So therefore, the general solution is in the form y equals e raised to alpha x multiplied by the first constant, arbitrary constant C sub 3 cosine beta x plus C sub 4 sine beta x, where alpha is the real part of the roots, no? Recall natin, where alpha and beta are real numbers such that m1 is equal to alpha plus beta. Ibig sabihin lang ng sinabi ko na yan is yung alpha is the real part of the imaginary number while the beta is the imaginary part of the roots. Okay? So, ganyan natin makukuha yung solution for this DE with auxiliary equation having conjugate complex roots. So, let's try to have an example of having a auxiliary equation that has a complex roots. Ano ba maganda example na may complex roots? So, let's try to solve this one. Y double prime plus y plus y equals 0. Wait lang, tinanong akong conjugate, ano to? 1 minus, yeah, parang complex sagot nito. Yung AE natin is m squared plus m plus 1 equals 0. B squared minus 4AC. Yeah. So, we can solve the roots by using the quadratic formula. B squared, minus b, which is minus 1, plus minus b squared is 1 minus 4ac, which is 4 na lang. Ayun o, kita nyo. May I tayo na makikita. Over 2. So, therefore, m1 is equal to minus 1 plus square root of 3i over 2, which it can be rewritten as minus 1 half plus square root of 3 over 2i. Para malaman natin sino si alpha, sino si beta. Dito si alpha. Ito si alpha. Ito si beta. Then yung conjugate niya, which is si minus 1 half minus square root of 3 over 2i. So, therefore, the general solution is y equals e raised to alpha. Sino si alpha? Si minus 1 half x times c sub 1 cosine. What is beta? Square root of 3 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2x plus c sub 2 sine of square root of 3 over 2x. Mapapansin ninyo, di ba?
nawala tayong imaginary di nasagot, no? So, expect nyo talaga nawala kasi real valued function ang kinoconsider natin. Kaya lang ito nag-make sense, yung pag-combine natin is that we get C sub 1, C sub 2 to be a complex number. So that if we try to somehow multiply it by I, magiging real number na siya, no? Similarly, if we take C sub 1 plus C sub 2, dapat maging real number din siya. Okay? So that's the idea on solving higher order linear DE with constant coefficients. So as for now, hanggang quadratic lang tayo, no? Well, because alam nyo naman, kapag meron na tayong polynomial of any degree, we can somehow reduce it into, or somehow we can decompose it into smaller degree, no? Actually, pwede natin maging linear, pwedeng maging in degree 2, no? And kapag naging degree 2 na, pwede na natin gamitin yung quadratic formula, no, to get this case 1 to case 2 and case 3 cases. Now, paano naman kapag combination ni case 2 tsaka case 3, ibig sabihin meron ka nang complex truths tapos repeated pa. So let's call it case 4. Ibig sabihin yan case 2 plus case 3. So our solution, lagyan natin general solution, lagyan muna natin assumption. If the auxiliary equation has roots of, let's say, m1 equals to a plus alpha pala ginamit natin, no? Alpha plus bi multiplicity k, sabihin na uulit yung roots natin, tapos ito naman yung conjugate niya, which is also nauulit din with same bilang k. Then the general solution of the HDE is y equals, so gagayin natin yung forma ng case 2 tsaka case 3, no? Yung case 2, sabi sa case 2 you have this, no? Tapos sa case 3 you have this. So kumbaga yung factor natin na meron tayong e alpha x times yung mga nagulit na start from c sub 1 plus c sub 2x plus so on and so forth up until c sub k x to the k minus 1. Tapos lalagyan mo pa ng beta, ng cosine beta x. Now, you also need to have e raised to alpha x times the sign, no? So, ibig sabihin, meron ka ulit ditong plus e raised to alpha x times yung mga constant ulit natin. Pero this time, since nagtapos tayo kay c sub k, magpo-proceed tayo kay c sub k plus 1 plus c sub k plus 2x plus so on and so forth. As you imagine, matatapos ka dyan kay c sub 2k x to the k minus 1. And this is multiplied by the sine beta x. Now, you can also factor out e raised to alpha x, pero lagyan mo na lang malaking bracket from that. So, ayan yung general solution natin if we have case 4, meaning combination ng case 2 tsaka case 3. So, lagyan natin ito ng box para hindi nyo makakalimutan itong mga formula na ito. Okay? So, let's try to have an example on solving homogeneous linear equations with constant coefficients, no? using this mga cases na ito. Ay, bakit wala tong case 4? Case 4 yan. So, let's try to solve. So, for example, we are given of this DE, no? Meron tayong fourth order, no? Fourth derivative. So, yung degree, yung order ng DE na ito ay 4. So, hindi nagagana yung mga natutunan natin in first order, no? Yung mga methods na yon. So, what we can do is that since this is an HDE yan, di ba? Bakit yan HDE? Yung right hand side niya ay 0 and yung mga coefficients ng derivatives at ng dependent variable ay constant. Therefore, this have a corresponding equation which is called the auxiliary equation, which can be given as m raised to 4 plus 2m squared plus 1 equal 0. And from that, we can somehow factor it as, pwede mo kasi ito isulat as m squared plus 2m squared plus 1, no? Or like kunwari y squared plus 2y plus 1. So, yung pangit ng y, bakit y pinili ko? Kunwari na lang 2n, n squared 2n tas plus 1. So, kita nyo, yan ay n plus 1 squared. Meaning, m squared plus 1 squared. So, this can be factored out as m squared plus 1 quantity squared. Now, this is a complex root. This has a complex roots, no? Tapos with multiplicity 2. Ayan yung case 4 natin. Is as example ng case 4 because we know that yung m1 is equal to minus I. Kasi pag sinolve mo yung m squared plus 1 equals 0, you get m equals plus minus I. So, yung m1 natin is plus I of multiplicity 2. And the other, yung roots, which is yung conjugate niya, is si minus I multiplicity 2. Now, if you rewrite this in form of alpha plus beta I, ayan ang ibig sabihin yan ay, ibig sabihin nito is 0 plus I, tapos 0 minus I. Meaning, yung alpha natin is just 0 while the beta is just 1. Kasi 1 lang yung constant na kasama ni I. So, titingnan lang natin yung mga numbers dito. We don't care about this operation. Okay? So, the alpha in this case is 0 and the beta is 1. Therefore, the general solution will be e raised to alpha, which is 0x, times, this is multiplicity 2, so we start with c sub 1, plus c sub 2, x, then we multiply a cosine beta here, plus e again, which is alpha, which is 0, times x, then proceed sa next constant, which is c sub 3 plus c sub 4 x, then sine beta x. Sorry, bakit beta nilalagay ko dito? Our beta is 1, so this is cosine of x tapos sine of x. So, solving further, we get, this is just 1, so we get c sub 1 cosine x plus c sub 2x cosine x plus c sub 3 sine x plus c sub 4 x sine of x. And that's the solution for this given DE. Okay? So, for our next example, ano naman to? Mayroon ng letter D. Ano yan, sir? Di mo na naturo yung D na yan. So, ano naman itong ganitong tipo ng forma ng DE natin? No. Let's recall that
'di ba yung y prime natin can be rewritten as dy dx, and other books nire-write din nila yan as dx, no? Dx of y, or minsan tinatanggal yung x dyan, dy na lang. So in this case, we can generalize this on getting the nth derivative, which is just d raised to n of y. So bakit ba ginagawang ganitong notation yung mga derivative natin, no? Because alam nyo ba, we can treat differentiation as an operator that can be treated as algebraic entity or algebraic quantity, no? Ano ibig sabihin ng algebraic quantity? Ibig sabihin nun, we can equate, or we can transform or express the operator as merely solving algebraically. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So somehow we can write this as the fourth derivative of y, add it with the third derivative of y, add it with the second derivative of y. So somehow gumagana yung algebra wherein nagdi-distribute tayo, no? So nagiging valid yun even though operator ito. What do we mean again by operator? Diba, it is like a machine wherein our output is a function. Ito yung machine niya, kunwari sa letter D, kung saan naglalabas siya ng another output, which is si f prime of x. Kung si operator natin ay si D. Kung si D squared naman, si second prime. Si second derivative. So kung d raised to n naman, si nth derivative. And somehow we can express this operator as a combination of this derivative. So kumbaga, isipin nyo, meron kayong equipment, tapos kino-combine nyo with addition, subtraction, no? Like, for instance, we have kunwari itong machine na ito, yung d raised to 4 plus d cubed plus d squared, no? So, ibubuga niya rin yan is another function because it is an operator of function. So, by that, we can now say that this one is just equivalent on taking the fourth derivative of y, tapos ito, third derivative of y, tapos ito, second order derivative. And now, this is a homogeneous equations with constant coefficients. Therefore, we can get the auxiliary equation to be m raised to 4 plus m cubed plus m squared equals 0. No? So, by that, nakita na natin yung auxiliary equation. Therefore, we can now solve this DE by solving the roots of this auxiliary equation. But, mapapansin ninyo, itong expression na ito, magkamukha lang sa expression ng operator, no? Kumbaga, pinalitan lang yung D ng M. Nice, no? Actually, yun din yung isang essence ng notation na ito. We can now simplify agad-agad kung ano yung auxiliary equation. Malalaman na natin agad-agad kung sino yung auxiliary equation by this notation, no? We know the auxiliary equation. We can now get the roots of this. But what is equivalent of this expression is pwede natin i-factor out yung m squared so that we have m squared plus m plus 1. Yan, quadratic na naman, no? So, since quadratic na naman to, pwede na naman tayo makagawa ng makuha yung roots nito using quadratic formula. But for now, we solve the first root na makikita natin, which is C0. So, this is multiplicity 2. But multiplicity 2 because naka-power by 2 yan. And the other one is yung roots nito. So, using quadratic formula, we get minus 1. Parang ito yung kanina, no? So, meron tayong minus 1 half plus square root of 3 over 2 ata to times I. Ito yung kanina nating example, eh. So, yung conjugate niya is minus 1/2 minus square root of 3 over 2i. So, therefore, yung alpha at saka yung beta natin, we can get to be minus 1/2. Tapos, yung beta is square root of 3 over 2. Now, question, pwede nyo maisip, pwede ba sir minus 3 square root of 2? Kasi yung beta dito sa conjugate, minus beta eh. Ang susundan natin on getting alpha and beta is the original, no? Yung may combine natin sa addition. Para hindi kayo malilito. Ayan yung alpha, ito yung beta. Ayan lang yung alpha, ayan lang yung beta. We don't care about this operation. Okay? And therefore, yung general solution na is y equals e raised to 0 times x. Tapos, multiplicity to to, diba? So, we have c sub 1 plus c sub 2 x. Plus, yung sa conjugate roots naman, we have e, yung alpha natin is minus 1/2 x times, first, c sub 3 na tayo because tapos na tuloy-tuloy lang yan, wag kayo uulit sa c sub 1, c sub 2. So, c sub 3 times the cosine of beta, which is square root of 3 over 2x, plus c sub 4 sine square root of 3 over 2x. Now, we can further solve this. This is just 1, no? So, we have c sub 1 plus c sub 2x. This is just 1. Plus, so, meron tayong c sub 3e raised to minus 1/2 x cosine of square root of 3 over 2x plus c sub 4 e minus 1/2 x raised to 1/2 x sine of square root of 3 over 2x. So, that's our answer for this problem. So, hindi lang yun yung natutunan natin. Natutunan din natin yung another way to write a differential equation using operator. Actually, using the D operator. Actually, itong D operator, mapag-aaralan pa natin yan further when we are dealing with non-homogeneous linear equations. Kasi merong ganap yan si D operator. As merely, actually, ang ganap niya, spoiler na, no? Concerns about the annihilator operator. Ibig sabihin, ina-annihilate niya. Pansin nyo, di ba? Equal siya kay 0. Ibig sabihin, ina-annihilate nitong operator na to yung function y. Kasi equal siya sa 0. Ibig sabihin, yung kung meron tayong equipment, ano ibig sabihin ng ina-annihilate? Parang ini-extinguish, no? Ini-extinguish niya yung function so that yung output niya parate ay 0 function, which is this one. So, let's try to solve another example. Ano ba next dito? Ayan, meron naman tayong IVP. So, paano naman if we have this IVP? So, nakalimutan na kung paano i-solve si IVP. So, wag niyo yung kakalimutan because hindi kayo tatantanan ng IVP. So, again, we get the auxiliary equation. Bakit natin nagagawa yung auxiliary equation? Because ang mga binibigay sa atin ay homogeneous linear equation with constant coefficients. Yung mga coefficient or mga kasama ng mga derivative ay mga constant lang. So that we have 4m squared plus 4m plus 17 equals 0. So using quadratic formula lang tayo dito because 17 yung constant dito. So using quadratic formula, we can get m1 to be minus 4 plus square root of minus 16 minus 4ac. So this is buiset 16 times 17. So 42, 7, 11, 16, 2. 6 plus 1, 7. Tama ba? 42, 1 times 7, 11. Wait lang, lagay mo natin yung formula. 4AC over 8. So, this is 272. Tapos, 272 minus 16 is equal to 6, 5. Ay, hindi. Bakit ko kinancel? 256. So, may minus 256. So, this is what? 128. Ito ay 264. Ito, 8 squared na. So, we can express this 16 minus 414. Sorry, but 414. 4417 as square root of minus 256. This is square root of 256i. So, this is square root of 2 squared times 8 squared i. Therefore, we have 2 times 8i, which is 16i. So, this is just, kailan natin yan? So, this is just minus 4 over 8, that is minus 1 half, plus, ayun, 16 over 8, which is 2i. So, syempre, yung conjugate niya, papalitan mo lang yan ng minus. Okay? So that we get alpha equals to minus 1 half, tapos yung beta to be 2. Okay? So, remove ko na to. Now, yung solution natin is y equals e raised to alpha minus 1 half x times c sub 1 cosine of what? 2x plus c sub 2 sine of 2x. Now, this is an IVP, so we need to compute the y prime. So, yung y prime is product rule. So, let's take e raised to minus 1 half x, then differentiate this one so that we have minus 2 c sub 1 sine of x, sine of 2x, plus 2c sub 2 cosine of 2x. Then, we stay naman yung ito, and ito naman yung i-differentiate natin so that we have minus 1 half e minus 1 half of x, then stay natin c sub 1. Sorry, dapat plus yan, c plus. So, lagyan natin dito ng malaking minus. OA naman. So, compare lang natin kasi in-stay natin ito. Cos 2x plus c sub 2 sin 2x. Yan. Actually, lagyan na natin siya dito kasi masyado siyang mahaba. Tapos, liitan na natin ito because mahaba-haba pa ang papasukin nating landas. Thus, liitan na natin. So, if y of 0 is equal to 1, tapos y prime of 0 is equal to 2, then we have 1. Sorry, minus 1 pala ito. Equals to minus 1. Then, we have minus 1 equals, dito lang ako naka-reference ha, tinutuloy ko lang tsaka dito mamaya. We have ito kapag 0 naman yung mga x, so cancel lang ito, magiging 1 lang yan. Ito magiging 1 lang. Ito makakancel 0. So c sub 1 lang. So c sub 1. Tapos yung from the second from this naman, what we can get is y prime is 2 when x is 0. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 0, this is 2c2. So meron tayong 2c2, Dito naman, meron tayong 1/2. Tapos, ito 0 lang ito. So, meron tayong minus 1/2 c sub 1. So, ito 1 lang. So, minus 1/2 c sub 1. Minus 1/2 c sub 1. But we know, c sub 1 is negative 1. Therefore, c sub 2 and c sub 2 is equal to what? 2 minus, 2 minus 1/2 times 1/2, which is equal to what? 2 ay 3 over 2 times 1/2, 3 over 4. So, 3/4. Tapos, dito na tayo magmalaking therefore. Therefore, our solution is now y equals e raised to minus 1/2 x times, the c sub 1 is minus 1, so that is minus cosine of 2x plus 3/4, c sub 2 natin 3/4 sine of 2x. So that's our answer for this one. Okay? So, let's have another example. Meron pa ba? Meron pa. Y raised to 5 naman. So, fifth degree polynomial lang ina-expect nating auxiliary equation for this one. So, solution for this is what? Auxiliary equation is m raised to 5 plus 2m raised to 4 plus 2m cubed minus 8m squared minus 19m minus 10. Lah, paano yan? So, to solve this, no, gagamitin natin yung rational root theorem. Ano sasabi ng rational root theorem? Kukunin nyo lang yung constant tsaka yung leading term and you divide it. No? You divide it. Kukunin nyo yung divisor nun. After that, you get the divisor of that. So, since 1 ang ano nito, so minus 10 over 1. So, we are just getting the divisor of negative 10. So, ano-ano yung mga divisor ni negative 10? So, lagay natin dito. Using rational root theorem, we found the possible roots to be yung mga divisors ni negative 10, which is si plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 5, diba? Tapos plus minus 10. So, yun yung mga pagpipilian natin na mga possible roots sa ating polynomial with degree 5. So, using synthetic division, we can have this format, no? Using synthetic division, ano ba to? 1, 2, 2, minus 8, minus 19, tas minus 10. So, maghanap tayo ng buwisit na root, mga possible root. Ito lang naman yung mga possible root na pwede nating isipin. Okay? So, ano kaya pwede? Well, syempre kayo, mag-iisip kayo, no? Pero ako, bibigay ko na para mabilis tayo. So, let's start with 2. So, that 1. Ito 2. So, meron tayong 4, 8. This is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. This is 16. Ay, 14 pala. Tapos, sorry, but 14? 12. 12 pala. 12, tapos 24. 5. Yeah, 5 na ito. Then 10. Which is 0. So, mapapansin nyo na non-negative ito, no? Another clue on that, kapag walang negative dyan, ibig sabihin, yung nakuha nyo is an upper bound. So, hindi mo na i-get si plus 5 tsaka si plus 10 because ito na yung pinakamalaking roots niya, no? So, pwede na tayong magsimula lower than 2. So, pwede natin piliin si minus 2, minus 5, minus 10, or minus 1. Pero bibigay ko na again yung roots. Si minus 2. So, that ano na next? We have 1 minus 2 is this. Lang, tama ba tayo na pinagagagawa? Tapos 0, 5, boom. Hindi pwede pala. So, let's find another. Hindi pala root si minus 2. Kala ko root siya. So, let's try pambansang minus 1. Yung mga lagi nauuna. So, 1. Minus 1. 3. Negative 3. 7. Negative 7. Ayun. 5 minus 5. Buti naman. Salamat. Then, madali na lang ito. Mga add na ito eh. Minus 1 lang din yan. So, 1. Minus 1. 2. Minus 2. Diba? 5. Minus 5. 0. O, nakailan na tayo? Nakatatlo na ba tayo? So, magka-quadratic na yung isa dyan. Diba? So, pwede na yan. So, ibig sabihin, using synthetic division, we get ano yung mga factor natin? X minus 2. Ay, sorry, but X. Sorry, M minus 2 pala. M minus 2. Tapos M plus 1 squared. So, yan ay ano na, no? Degree 3 na to. Cubic na ito. So, you expect quadratic na. Well, ang natira is this one, M squared plus 2M plus 5. So, ito yung natira, no? Mga coefficient na to, 1, 2, tsaka 5. That's quadratic. So that we get na roots. We get the roots. We can now get the roots from here. Thus, the roots of the auxiliary equation are M1 is equal to 2. M2 is equal to minus 1 multiplicity 2. M3, which is we don't know yet, but we can now compute because this is quadratic. M3 is equal to minus 2 plus, lagyan na natin to ng 1/2. Sige nang mamaya na nga. Square root of b squared, which is 4, minus 4ac, which is 20, over 2. So, this is minus 1. 16 to, so 4 to. 4 over 2 is 2. So, plus 2i. And the other is its conjugate, which is a minus 2i. Wherein we compute the alpha to be minus 1 and beta to be 2. Therefore, the general solution now is solution to the given DE is y equals c sub 1 e raised to 2x. Ito yung una. Now we have multiplicity 2 so that we have plus e raised to minus 1x, which is negative x, times c sub 2 plus c sub 3 x. Next, we have the conjugate roots so that we have plus e minus x again times c sub 4 na cosine of 2x plus c sub 5 sine of 2x. And that's it. We expect 5-parameter family of solution because 5th order DE ito. Okay? So, that's, again, wait lang, yun na ba yung last? Yeah, non-homogeneous na yung next. So, this lesson discuss about homogeneous linear equation with constant coefficients, and I provided so much example, napakarami nating example. So, as you recall some concept, kailangan na natin malaman or ma-refresh yung mga isip ninyo about synthetic division, because somehow kapag nagsosolve na tayo ng higher order ordinary differential equation, we can transform it into polynomial so that we can now solve polynomial of degree n. And next meeting, pag-aaralan naman natin yung non-homogeneous linear equations, no? But yeah, stop na lang muna tayo hanggang dito. Okay? So thank you for watching in today's lecture. Sana may natutunan kayo. And if you have concern or question about this topic, mag-comment kayo sa Google Classroom. Puro done na lang lagi yung mga comment nyo. So, ina-assume ko na naiintindihan nyo yung mga lecture natin, no? Puro mga done lang eh. Walang queries, walang question, no? So, that's it. Thank you for watching and bye-bye.